suffering while his boat floated away from him down the Eridan River in pieces.
I'd give my sharpest bronze dagger to see that silly human trying to leave Elysium on a felucca.
Have you visited my mother recently and given her my love?
Always. The meteor sends her love in return.
Well, I'd better get back. Elysium won't rule itself. Do keep an eye out for me. I sense trouble brewing in Paradise.
I was starting to think you'd never get here. You can't waste time if you hope to break Persephone's control over the gate to the underworld. Did you really think word wouldn't get out that you're in collusion with Elysium's pretty boy, Adonis?
Is that so?
Unfortunately, no one passes through the gate to the underworld without Persephone's permission, which she has never given. Ever. Luckily for you, as the goddess of crossroads and keys, locked doors happen to be my specialty.
Are you saying you can get me through the gate?
I'm saying I can help you bypass Persephone.
From what I just saw, you're pretty close with Persephone. Why would you want to work against her?
I'm not asking for your blind trust. Let me prove our goals align. This unlocks the door to Persephone's hidden sanctuary. She keeps all of her most intimate possessions there, stowed away from her husband. Among her treasures is a journal rumored to contain information you desperately need about the gate. Bring it to me as soon as you can.
Come to think of it, I've seen the door you speak of before.
And now you'll be able to open it.
I'll go get the journal.
The sooner you bring me it, the closer you are to leaving Elysium. Don't waste any time.
I'm not sure how stealing Persephone's journal will help me open the gate to the underworld, but here it is.
Stealing Persephone's journal wouldn't help us. But stealing the journal that belonged to the gate's locksmith will.
Who's the locksmith?
It doesn't say. Looks like a lot of pages were torn out. Now be quiet while I read. Well, that was illuminating.
So? What does it say?
Oh, so eager. The location of the gate is not revealed. But so long as Persephone controls Elysium, you need her permission to pass through it. Which you will never get.
But if she loses control of Elysium?
She loses control of the gate. You need to undermine her influence any way you can.
And how do you suggest I do that?
Your alliance with Adonis is a good start. His head-on tactics are a little obvious for my taste, but in time, he will wear down Persephone's forces.
What about our alliance? Where do you come in?
I know all of Persephone's weaknesses, and I'll direct you to them when the time is right. Until then, you'd be wise to spend some time with Persephone's lapdog, Hermes. Learn to use that staff. You'll need a divine weapon in the land of gods.
I will fight with you. You have my word as a Spartan.
Thank you, grandfather. You look concerned.
I'm worried about Persephone.
I haven't been here long, but I've already heard people want her overthrown.
You have?
What do these humans expect from her? I'd heard some of the more ungrateful delinquents are planning to rise up. Imagine!
These ungrateful delinquents. Could they be right?
Bah! You give them too much credit. Still, Persephone needs protection.
Don't look at me.
There's a friend of mine and your father's, Kyros of Zarax. He's a strong and honorable warrior. He's been abducted, but if we could free him...
You're suggesting we make a human Persephone's bodyguard?
With Kyros at the ready, the humans will think twice before attacking one of their own.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were in love with Persephone.
No one understands her the way I do. Adonis, she's a cruel despot. To her husband, she's a trinket on his arm.
And what do you see?
Me? Oh, I don't know. I've never had anyone ask me before. She's... everything.
How do you know this, Kyros?
He was an aide, of sorts, to your father. Every great painter needs a hand to crush their pigment. That was Kyros, a warrior.
Say no more. I'll find Kyros for you.
Ah, I knew I could trust you. While you're gone, I'll arrange a meeting with Persephone. Bring Kyros to the heart of Elysium. We'll be there.
All right, Kyros, let's make this quick. You said this is going to be easier than you thought.
Since we're basically family, I'm trusting your honor. I work for Adonis.
But you were caged by humans.
Yes, and Hermes found out about it right around the time Persephone was coaxed into deciding she needs a bodyguard.
You staged the whole thing, and you're using Hermes to infiltrate Persephone's lair. Ha! You're no simple warrior.
Before I met your father, I had 4 sons, each a warrior. When my third boy fell in battle, there was only guilt. I'd cried all my tears for the first 2.
Go on.
And with the 4th, I felt longing. Sadness had become my only friend. And I had no one left to grieve. Warriors don't bring peace. They bring sorrow.
Huh. So by getting behind Persephone's defenses, you think you can prevent war? You could convince her to surrender, or distract her while Adonis escapes.
Anything but battle. But before we go to Persephone, I have to send confirmation this plan worked. Will you take me?
Fine, but be quick. We need to go to Persephone and Hermes. They're waiting. You really think you can save lives?
I'm not sure how death works in this. Suffering is eternal, and that is something I can't stop.
Where have you been? No one keeps Persephone waiting.
It got complicated. We took a less direct route.
What matters, Hermes, is I'm freed thanks to you. When I go to my queen, I will make sure she's grateful to you for my service.
Explain it to Persephone. She's waiting.
I'll make sure she knows this was entirely my fault, not yours.
I'm sorry I was ungrateful. Kyros will make a strong guard. Thank you again, friend.
Here, Hermes.
These are dark times for Elysium. Those delinquent fools have robbed even me.
What did they take?
I fashioned a key, a recipe if you will, for an eternal flame. I intended to gift it to Persephone. With it, she could shine her light, even in the underworld.
No matter who the ruler is, if you give her fire, you're going to get burned.
You still don't understand. Persephone wants to protect us from the dark horrors in the underworld. With the flame, she could.
So write the recipe again.
What I wrote took lifetimes. We can't let it stay in the hands of humans who would use it against her. Keep her. Alexios, we have to steal it back.
I'll take back this recipe. But only because I don't think anyone should have access to a flame that never dies.
These are desperate times. You've seen the cloud these delinquents cast on our golden fields.
I said I'd get it.
Ah, I thank you. You are quickly becoming my friend and ally.
An eternal flame sounds more like a myth than some simple recipe.
Pa, I began writing the recipe with your father. It's as real as the danger we'll face without it.
Why do you go to these lengths to save Persephone? She wouldn't do the same for you.
Since these humans started acting against her, she's been suffering. When she suffers, we all suffer.
Hermes, has it occurred to you she might just be using you?
Of course not. She simply needs someone to rely on. She needs me.
I'll find the rebels and get your recipe.
That's all I ask. If you are spotted or cause a commotion, we risk retaliation. Go unseen.
This looks like the scribbles of a madman. But it's been read. Where's the rest of it?
We need to get the recipe back.
About that. Here it is.
You've spared this realm great suffering, my friend. I wonder, were you spotted?
Of course not. But, Hermes...
Good. We don't risk retaliation.
I'm giving these torn pieces back, Hermes. But I'm trusting you. A flame that never dies could consume all of Elysium.
I swear to you as your friend, I will only use the flame if it's absolutely necessary.
Hermes, things are worse in Elysium than I've been letting on. The rebels are organized and ready to fight. War is coming.
We must crush the force behind the chaos. Let's fight for Persephone.
You're so worried about Persephone, you can't even see you're in just as much danger.
You kept the eternal flame out of the hands of the humans, and you went unseen. We have the upper hand. We just have to strike.
Calm yourself, Hermes. It's not like you're going to go on a rampage.
And why not? There are so-called captains guiding the human forces. They invited chaos into this realm, so let's show them chaos.
At least when you asked me to steal, it was from thieves. You're not a murderer, Hermes.
You made me look like a fool when I sent you to Kiros. But I can still come back from that, and prove my worth.
I told you, we were diverted.
It doesn't matter. Please, I'm begging you, my friend. Help me to help her.
You think that your obsession with Persephone entitles you to her love? It doesn't! She will never love you, Hermes, and no amount of killing will change that!
Enough!
Stop! You're going to kill him!
What are you doing here?
Don't question me. Thank me for stopping you both before you do something you regret.
This isn't over!
Stand down, both of you. You still have your parts to play in all of this. Now stop bickering and fulfill them.
What do you think about my southern realm? I don't come here much anymore.
It's lovely.
I try to offer a comfortable home to the glorious dead. It helps them accept their fate and keeps them from wandering too far. So when a human wanders and doesn't return, I can't help but take it personally.
What am I doing here?
When Leonidas was alive, he brought chaos and bloodshed. Hermes spotted him mingling with delinquents recently. We can't have him falling into old habits. If he won't fight with me, then he won't fight at all.
Isn't everyone in Elysium already dead?
Elysium is a gift for the worthy. The unworthy experience a second death and are sent to Tartaros.
Leonidas doesn't deserve that.
Hermes told me why you're really in Elysium. That staff of yours. Cross me and you'll fail. But Leonidas means a lot to you. I understand this will be difficult, which is why I'm willing to make you a deal.
What kind of deal?
Bring me the body of Leonidas, and I will bring back a departed beloved of your choosing.
You can do that?
I'm queen of the dead, darling. I can do anything. So, who does Alexios want back in his life?
I want to see Phoebe again.
Help me protect Elysium from chaos, and you'll see your loved one again.
Paradise people find the dead. Is killing my grandfather worth bringing someone to life? What are you doing out here?
There is something I wanted to ask you. Will you fish with me? This is nice.
There are so many things I want to talk about.
Talk then.
After everything you lost at Thermopylae, your men, your wife, your children, Sparta. In the end, was it worth it?
Who rules the Greek world right now?
Greeks.
Then my answer is yes.
Mater told me of our bloodline and our ancestors. Did you know?
Only what my mother told me. We were born from greatness, and we were destined for greatness. The world was divided in two. Those who wanted us dead, and those who would follow us to the gates of Hades.
I imagine the spear was in one piece when it was given to you.
My mother handed it to me when I was a boy. Said it came with a certain burden, but
You were ready. It's so peaceful here.
I think I got a bite. Get a basket, quickly.
Grandfather,
You are here to kill me. In Sparta, we were trained to spot predators, long before they pounced.
I need Persephone's approval, but she sees you as a threat. If I don't take care of that threat,
Why not bring her the head of a greater threat?
who's a greater threat than you? Actually, there is someone. A spy. I delivered him to Persephone as a bodyguard, but he's working against her from the inside.
I am only a threat to her soldiers on the battlefield. A spy threatens the heart of Elysium. Bring her his corpse, and she should be satisfied.
Thank you, grandfather. We should go fishing more often.
Kyros of Zarax? This isn't who I asked for.
He's a spy working for the rebellion.
But you're the one who first brought him to me.
I didn't know his intentions.
I trusted you. Guards,
Persephone, listen to me. Remis is right. Trouble's brewing in Elysium. Even though Leonidas is against you, you're much stronger than he is. But Kyros was an enemy you couldn't see. That made him far more dangerous to you and Elysium.
defying me comes at a cost. Our deal is off. But for bringing me this vile deceiver, you may stay. Figure out that mysterious little staff of yours. I never wanted this. I only turned this world into paradise to make it bearable. And then you arrived and made me blossom.
Please, just let me go.
If you truly wanted to leave, you'd have already done it. Or have you forgotten? I wonder if Aphrodite would still love you if she knew what a coward you were.
Not having second thoughts, are you?
She's right. I am a coward. She gave me the chance to leave once. All I had to do was fight, and I couldn't. I'm sorry, I can't do this. It's too big.
Adonis, I want you to close your eyes and imagine Aphrodite. Don't let Persephone make you forget why you're fighting.
You're right. It's Persephone's greatest talent, making us forget the ones we love.
Keeps people from wanting to leave.
Let's remind them, shall we? At the base of the palace of the Colossi, you'll find one of Hermes' inventions, stolen from his workshop. It's said to destroy everything it touches.
What are we destroying?
Atop the palace is where Persephone keeps her sleeping Colossi. Bring the device there and make sure they never wake again. The smoke will let every rebel camp in Elysium know the time to strike is now.
What are we waiting for?
Try not to kill anyone. Success without detection and death is sure to convert more non-believers to our cause.
Ross? Good dog. Huh?